if you want to enjoy deep, restorative sleep well into your later years. Pay close attention to what I'm about to reveal. Aging ruins your sleep. But here's the good news. There's something you can actually do about it. You've probably noticed it yourself. Falling asleep takes longer. You wake up multiple times during the night, or you feel exhausted even after a full night in bed. A few weeks ago, I released a video on how aging negatively impacts your sleep. And hundreds of you asked the same burning question. What can I actually do about it? That's exactly what we're covering today. Here's what most people don't realize. Your sleep problems aren't random. They fall into three main categories: your daily habits, your changing biology, and possible underlying medical issues. And here's the kicker. These habits aren't just about what you do before bed. What you do during the day, and even during the night, can completely sabotage your sleep. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the specific things you should do to get a great night's sleep as you get older. But first, drop a comment. How old are you? And what's your biggest sleep challenge right now? I personally respond to every question. Let's fix your sleep together, starting tonight. Number 1. Understand your changing biology. As you age, your body goes through something called phase advancement. And this is one of the most misunderstood aspects of aging and sleep. What happens is, your body's internal clock shifts earlier, sometimes by several hours, and this can wreak havoc on your entire sleep schedule. Here's how it works. Your body starts producing melatonin, the sleep hormone, much earlier in the day than it used to. This is why many of my patients over 65 suddenly feel exhausted around 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. They want to eat dinner at 5 p.m. instead of 7 p.m., and they're ready for bed by 7:30 or 8 o'clock. Then what happens? They wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning, wide awake, unable to fall back asleep. This isn't insomnia in the traditional sense. It's a shifted circadian rhythm. Your body thinks it's time to wake up because you've already gotten your full night's sleep, just on an earlier schedule than you want. Now, some people say, well, what's wrong with going to bed at 8 p.m. and waking up at 3 a.m.? And honestly, if that works for your lifestyle, there's nothing wrong with it. But for most people, this doesn't work. You want to have dinner with family, watch your evening shows, or maintain a social life. Waking up at 3 a.m. also means you're awake in the dark, quiet hours when there's nothing to do, which can lead to anxiety and depression. So here's the solution. Melatonin supplementation. But not the way most people use it. Most people take melatonin right before bed, and they take way too much. 3 milligrams, 5 milligrams, even 10 milligrams. That's completely wrong for this situation. What you want to do is take a very small dose, about 0.5 milligrams, which is half a milligram, approximately 90 minutes before your desired bedtime. Not your current bedtime, but when you want to go to bed. So if you want to fall asleep at 10 p.m., take it around 8:30 p.m. This small dose helps shift your circadian rhythm gradually. It tells your body, hey, it's not time to wind down yet. We're going to stay up a bit longer. Over time, usually within a week or two, your body adjusts and you can maintain a more normal sleep schedule. This approach has been a complete game changer for many of my patients who thought they just had to accept waking up at 3 a.m. for the rest of their lives. Number 2, master the caffeine fading technique. Let me share something that absolutely shocks most of my patients. If you're over 65 years old, your body takes 33% longer to metabolize caffeine compared to someone in their 20s or 30s. Think about what that means. If a young person drinks coffee at 2 p.m. and the caffeine is out of their system by 8 p.m., for you, that same cup of coffee might still be affecting you at 11 p.m. or even midnight. This is because as we age, our liver enzymes that break down caffeine become less efficient. The caffeine half-life, the time it takes for your body to eliminate half the caffeine, extends significantly. So, that afternoon pick-me-up you think has worn off. It's still circulating in your bloodstream when you're trying to fall asleep, blocking adenosine receptors in your brain and keeping you alert when you desperately want to rest. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I've been drinking coffee my whole life. I can't just quit. And you're right, you shouldn't have to quit entirely. But you do need to be strategic about it. Here's my solution, and I call it the caffeine fading technique. This method allows you to gradually reduce your caffeine intake without suffering through terrible withdrawal headaches, irritability, and fatigue. Start by mixing your regular coffee with decaffeinated coffee. In week 1, make your afternoon coffee 50-50, half regular, half decaf. You're still getting the taste, the ritual, the warmth of your coffee, but you're cutting the caffeine content in half. Most people don't even notice a difference at this ratio. Then, in week 2, shift to 25% regular and 75% decaf. Week 3, go to just a splash of regular coffee with mostly decaf. And by week 4, you're drinking fully decaffeinated coffee in the afternoon. But because you did it so gradually, you barely notice the transition. The beauty of this approach is that you keep your coffee routine, which is important because rituals matter, especially as we age, but you eliminate the sleep-disrupting effects of afternoon caffeine. Now, I'm not saying you can't have regular coffee in the morning. For most seniors, coffee before noon is usually fine. It's that afternoon and evening caffeine that's the real problem. Some of my patients who were convinced they had chronic insomnia discovered that their only issue was drinking coffee too late in the day. Once they implemented caffeine fading, their sleep problems completely disappeared within 2 to 3 weeks, if you're a tea drinker. The same principle applies. Switch to herbal teas, or decaffeinated versions in the afternoon and evening. Number 3, control your napping. Between 1 and 3 p.m. every single day, your body temperature naturally rises slightly. And this triggers what's called the afternoon dip in alertness. This is a biological phenomenon that happens to everyone, regardless of age. But here's the thing, how you respond to this afternoon drowsiness can make or break your nighttime sleep, especially as you get older. When you feel that wave of tiredness after lunch, your first instinct might be to lie down for a nap. And while short naps can be beneficial, there's a right way and a wrong way to approach them as a senior. Here's the problem with uncontrolled napping. Every time you sleep, you're reducing what sleep scientists call sleep pressure or homeostatic sleep drive. Think of sleep pressure like hunger. The longer you go without eating, the hungrier you get. Similarly, the longer you're awake, the more pressure builds up to sleep. This pressure is what helps you fall asleep quickly and sleep deeply at night. When you take a long nap in the afternoon, say an hour or 2, you're releasing a significant amount of that sleep pressure. So when bedtime rolls around at 10 p.m., your body simply doesn't have enough accumulated sleep pressure to fall asleep easily. You'll lie there awake, frustrated, wondering why you can't sleep, when the real culprit was that long afternoon nap. So here's what I recommend instead. When you feel that afternoon drowsiness coming on, resist the urge to nap. Instead, get outside and expose yourself to sunlight. Natural light is incredibly powerful. It suppresses melatonin production, which helps you stay alert. Even just 15 to 20 minutes of sunlight can completely eliminate that drowsy feeling. Go for a short walk, sit on your porch, or even just stand by a sunny window. The combination of light exposure, gentle movement, and fresh air works wonders. You'll feel more energized, and you'll preserve that crucial sleep pressure for nighttime. Now, if you absolutely must nap, follow these rules. Keep it short, no more than 20 to 30 minutes maximum. Set an alarm, and do it before 3 p.m. These power naps can refresh you without significantly impacting your nighttime sleep. But here's a critical warning. If you find yourself needing to nap for 1 to 2 hours every single day, and you can't function without these long naps, that's a major red flag. Excessive daytime sleepiness is one of the primary symptoms of sleep apnea, which affects millions of seniors. Sleep apnea causes your breathing to stop repeatedly during the night, preventing deep, restorative sleep. Your body tries to compensate with long daytime naps, but you never feel truly rested. If this sounds like you, please talk to your doctor about getting a sleep study. Number 4. Upgrade your sleep environment and mattress. Here's a hard truth about aging and sleep. As we get older, our sleep becomes increasingly fragile. What sleep researchers call sleep architecture changes dramatically. You spend less time in deep sleep. You wake up more frequently throughout the night. And you're far more sensitive to environmental disruptions than you were in your younger years. This means that things you could easily ignore before, a slightly warm room, a little bit of light creeping in, distant traffic noise, can now completely sabotage your sleep quality. Your sleep environment becomes absolutely critical, and unfortunately, this is where most seniors are making major mistakes. Let's start with the basics. Your bedroom needs to be dark, cool, and quiet. And I don't mean sort of dark, I mean pitch black. Even small amounts of light can suppress melatonin production and disrupt your sleep cycles. Invest in blackout curtains or use an eye mask if needed. Cover or remove any electronic devices with lights. Alarm clocks, phone chargers, smoke detectors. If you need a nightlight for safety when getting up to use the bathroom, use a dim red light, which has the least impact on melatonin. Temperature is crucial. Your body needs to cool down to initiate and maintain sleep. Keep your bedroom between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. I know that seems cold, but research shows this is the optimal temperature range for quality sleep. Use breathable bedding, and don't be afraid to sleep with lighter pajamas or even just socks if your feet get cold. For noise, if you can't eliminate it, mask it. White noise machines, fans, or even earplugs can help. Inconsistent noise is more disruptive than constant background sound. Now let's talk about your mattress, because this is huge. If your mattress is more than 6 to 7 years old, it's likely causing you problems even if you don't realize it. Mattresses break down over time, losing support and developing body impressions that can cause pain and disrupt sleep. For seniors specifically, you need a mattress that does 3 things. First, it needs to provide proper spinal alignment and support, especially if you have arthritis or back pain. Second, it needs to relieve pressure points. Hips, shoulders, and joints become more sensitive with age. And third, and this is often overlooked, it needs good edge support. Why does edge support matter? Because as we age, getting in and out of bed safely becomes important. A mattress with firm, supportive edges gives you a stable place to sit when putting on shoes or standing up, reducing fall risk. Don't view a quality mattress as an expense. It's an investment in your health, pain management, and sleep quality. Number 5, address underlying medical issues. Here's something that frustrates me as a healthcare provider. Many seniors assume poor sleep is just a normal part of aging that they have to accept. But the truth is, while sleep does change as we age, chronic poor sleep is often a sign of underlying medical conditions that can and should be treated. Let's start with the most common culprits: high blood pressure, diabetes, and obesity, conditions that affect millions of seniors. All have direct negative effects on sleep quality. High blood pressure can cause frequent nighttime urination and nightmares. Diabetes can lead to night sweats, nocturia, and restless legs. Obesity is a major risk factor for sleep apnea. These conditions create a vicious cycle. Poor sleep worsens these health problems, and the health problems further deteriorate your sleep. But beyond these general health conditions, there are specific sleep disorders that become much more common as we age, and they often go undiagnosed for years. The first is sleep apnea, and this is a big one. Sleep apnea occurs when your airway repeatedly collapses during sleep, cutting off your oxygen supply. You might snore loudly, gasp for air, or choke during the night. Your bed partner might notice these events, but if you sleep alone, you might have no idea it's happening. The result? You wake up exhausted. You're sleepy all day. You have trouble concentrating, and you might develop high blood pressure or heart problems. If you suspect sleep apnea, please get a sleep study. CPAP therapy or other treatments can be absolutely life-changing. Next is restless legs syndrome, or RLS. This is that incredibly uncomfortable crawling, tingling, or aching sensation in your legs that happens when you're trying to rest. It creates an irresistible urge to move your legs, making it nearly impossible to fall asleep. RLS is linked to iron deficiency, certain medications. And kidney disease? The good news? It's very treatable once properly diagnosed. Then there's periodic limb movement disorder, where your legs or arms jerk involuntarily during sleep. You might not even be aware it's happening, but it fragments your sleep and prevents you from reaching deep, restorative sleep stages. Your bed partner might notice your legs kicking throughout the night. Here's what I want you to understand. These aren't minor inconveniences. They're legitimate medical conditions that significantly impact your health and quality of life. They increase your risk of cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, depression, and falls. If you're experiencing symptoms of any of these conditions, don't brush them off. Talk to your doctor. Ask for referrals to sleep specialists if needed. Get a sleep study. These conditions are diagnosable and treatable, and treating them can completely transform not just your sleep, but your overall health and well-being. You deserve restorative sleep, and there's absolutely no reason to suffer in silence. Number 6. Review your medication. This is one of the most overlooked causes of sleep problems in seniors, and it frustrates me because it's often so easily fixable. Many common medications that seniors take daily can significantly interfere with sleep, and most people have no idea their medications are the problem. Think about this. The average senior over 65 takes 4 to 5 prescription medications daily, plus various over-the-counter supplements. Each of these substances affects your body in different ways, and many have direct impacts on your sleep-wake cycle. Yet when people come to me complaining about insomnia or excessive daytime sleepiness, they rarely connect it to their medications. Let me give you some examples. Many antidepressants, particularly SSRIs and SNRIs, can cause insomnia or vivid. Disturbing dreams, beta blockers, commonly prescribed for high blood pressure, can reduce melatonin production and cause insomnia and nightmares. Corticosteroids like prednisone are notorious for causing insomnia and agitation. Decongestants and some antihistamines act as stimulants. Even diuretics or water pills can disrupt sleep by causing frequent nighttime bathroom trips. On the flip side, some medications cause excessive daytime drowsiness when you need to be alert. Certain antihistamines, muscle relaxants, and pain medications can make you feel sedated all day long, leading to dangerous situations if you're driving or doing activities that require focus. Here's the most important thing I can tell you. This is completely fixable, but you need to be proactive. Schedule a medication review with your doctor or pharmacist. Bring in every single medication you take, prescriptions, over-the-counter drugs, vitamins, and supplements. Ask these specific questions. Could any of these medications be affecting my sleep? Are there alternative medications that might work better for my sleep? Can we adjust the timing of when I take these medications? That last question is crucial because sometimes a simple timing change makes all the difference. For example, if you're taking a stimulating medication like certain antidepressants or ADHD medications in the evening, switching to morning dosing can eliminate your insomnia. If you're taking a sedating medication in the morning that's making you drowsy all day, moving it to bedtime might help you sleep better and feel more alert during the day. Diuretics should almost always be taken in the morning or early afternoon, never in the evening, to avoid nighttime bathroom trips. Here's what you should not do. Don't stop or adjust your medications on your own. Suddenly stopping certain medications can be dangerous. Always work with your healthcare provider to make changes safely. Also, be aware of medication interactions. Sometimes it's not one medication causing the problem. It's the combination of 2 or 3 medications creating sleep disruptions. Your doctor wants you to sleep well. They prescribed these medications to help your health, not hurt it. But they might not realize the impact on your sleep unless you speak up. Number 7. Beware of over-the-counter sleep aids. This is my biggest warning in this entire video, so please pay close attention. Over-the-counter sleep aids might seem like a harmless, convenient solution to your sleep problems, but they can actually cause serious long-term health consequences, especially for seniors. Walk into any pharmacy and you'll see dozens of products marketed for sleep. Things like Tylenol PM, Advil PM, Benadryl, Unisom, Zizquil, and countless others with PM in the name. The active ingredient in almost all of these is diphenhydramine or doxylamine, both antihistamines that cause drowsiness as a side effect. Here's the problem. These medications were never designed to be taken every single night for months or years. Yet many seniors fall into the trap of daily use because they seem to work at first. You take a pill, you feel drowsy, you fall asleep. Problem solved, right? Wrong. First, you quickly develop tolerance. The dose that worked last week doesn't work this week, so you take more. Before you know it, you're taking 2 or 3 times the recommended dose just to get the same effect. Second, and this is the really scary part, daily use of these anticholinergic medications has been linked to an increased risk of dementia and cognitive decline. Multiple large-scale studies have found that seniors who regularly use medications like diphenhydramine have a significantly higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. These drugs block acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter crucial for memory and cognitive function. Think about that for a moment. You're taking these pills to sleep better, but you might be increasing your risk of losing your memories and mental clarity in the long run. That's a terrible trade-off. These medications also cause other problems in seniors. Increased fall risk due to next-day grogginess, dry mouth, constipation, blurry vision, and urinary retention, especially problematic for men with prostate issues. So, what should you do instead? First, work through the other 6 strategies I've outlined in this video. Address the root causes of your sleep problems rather than just masking symptoms with medication. If you need additional support, talk to your doctor about safer alternatives. Melatonin, used correctly as I described earlier, is much safer for long-term use. Cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, or CBTI, is highly effective and has no side effects. Now, I do want to mention 2 supplements that can be helpful: vitamin D and magnesium. Vitamin D deficiency is extremely common in seniors and has been linked to poor sleep quality. I generally recommend that seniors take vitamin D supplementation daily, typically 1,000 to 2,000 IU, for overall health and sleep support. Magnesium can also be beneficial, but here's the key: only if you're actually deficient. Talk to your doctor about testing your magnesium levels first. If you are low, magnesium supplementation, particularly magnesium glycinate, can help with sleep and muscle relaxation. The bottom line: focus on fixing the problem, not covering it up with potentially harmful medications. So, there you have it. 7 proven strategies to transform your sleep. Adjust your melatonin timing for phase advancement. Fade your caffeine gradually. Skip afternoon naps for sunlight instead. Upgrade your sleep environment and mattress. Address medical issues like sleep apnea. Review your medications with your doctor. And avoid dangerous OTC sleep aids. Better sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It protects your memory, strengthens your immune system, supports your heart health, improves your mood, and reduces fall risk. Quality sleep is the foundation of healthy aging. Start with just 1 or 2 strategies tonight. Maybe it's the caffeine fading technique, or finally getting that sleep study you've been putting off. Small changes create powerful results. Now here's what I need you to do. Hit that thumbs up button if this video helped you. It allows other seniors to discover this information. Subscribe so you never miss important health content, and most importantly, comment below right now. Which strategy will you try first? What's your biggest sleep struggle? I personally read and respond to every comment. You don't have to accept poor sleep as part of aging. You deserve deep, restorative rest every single night. Here's to better sleep and healthier living. I'll see you in the next video.